Hello and welcome back to the Weekend Wrap Up Podcast. Today we are covering Monza, very eventful race. My name is Sebastian,
I'm Hoorain.
I'm Sophia.
I'm Hannah.
and welcome back. So, today we'd start with Logan Sargent being replaced with Franco Colapinto. What are our thoughts here?
Poor guy.
I mean, yeah, I got a feel for him. We already knew this is going to be his last season, obviously. He wasn't going to find a seat, most likely, definitely. But honestly, I thought they were going to let him finish it out. I feel like everyone thought he was going to finish out the season, but Netherlands is his last race, and I don't think anyone knew that.
Yeah, I think everyone knew he wasn't performing, but no one was expecting like I guess, mid-season boot. And I think that's what everyone is like mad about because like mid-season driver swaps are not fun. And especially with only like I think when he got booted it was like 9 races left. Now it's 8. It's obviously not fun. It was very last minute too, so throwing in Franco very last minute, like 2 days before, also doesn't rub me right. Because what are we doing?
Yeah.
A rookie? I wasn't sure about Franco because throwing in a guy straight from F2 into a seat where you wanted someone a little bit more experienced.
Yeah. I mean, especially with, like, the options possibly. Like, I heard they talk about Mick, I think.
No.
But then he also said that Mick wasn't special, quote unquote, just what James said. So I was like, okay.
And he's a little expensive.
That too.
Damn.
Which I understand why. But if they were looking for points, I don't think that's the way to go. Which, I mean, he didn't get points either, but he didn't do, like, that bad this weekend, honestly.
He
Was he
did
got
gain
P12?
He didn't do
6
bad.
places.
He did
gained
good.
6 places. So
Yeah.
I'd say that's pretty
So,
good.
well, yes, yeah.
I
We
think
also
it was
talk
just kind
about
of disrespectful.
yeah.
Definitely disrespectful. I agree. Like, I think after everything Logan did for the team, like, he stuck with them for almost 2 years, and then
Yeah.
they just sacked
He
him
was-
like that.
Yeah. I just don't think he was treated that. Like, that's not the way to do it, I don't think. He was just
Right.
treated pretty poorly. That's what I think everyone's mad about. Not the fact that he's gone, just the fact the manner how it was done, like the events led up to that. That's what I think.
Right.
That's what I'm mad at least. So, but
Yeah.
And it's like,
it is what it
I
is.
think Logan knew that, like, after his, like, I think it was FP3 crash, I could be wrong. Like, he knew that was his last race too, but we as fans didn't know that. So, like, finding out that he knew that it was his last race, but we didn't know, I think that was also, like, a whole thing on its own.
It sucks
And that makes it, like,
because
100 times worse.
we could have given him a good send off or like even driver of the
Yeah.
day if we knew that was gonna be his last race.
Yeah.
But what's done is done. So
I mean, it's part of the sport. Obviously there's like
Like I
wishes it
said,
can come
yeah.
better, but it is what it is.
like they
So
say, it's a cutthroat
Right.
sport.
Now, this whole episode is revolving around Monza. Monza is home of Ferrari, home of the Tifosi, so this weekend was very special. They brought about a new livery, if you want to call it that, for their car, but their number on the car was just changed, and that was like the only difference. So what do we think about that? Do we think they could have done better?
Yeah, I wish the livery
obviously,
actually
I
looked
think
like carbon fiber and yellow, just like their race suits did. But
yeah. But my expectations weren't even that high after Miami. They're
Yeah.
little.
right,
It's gonna be
True.
blue,
I'm
and
honestly
a little blue. Yeah, I wasn't really expectations were high, so it's okay. I mean, it doesn't look bad, but they could have made it look better, obviously.
Definitely.
you know what else could have looked better? The trophy. I don't know what the hell that was.
Oh,
I'm
I
so
don't like it
confused on what it was. Like, I saw someone say, like, after the race, like, I guess they posted it after the race. They were like, this is what Charles's tires looked like after.
No,
I was like, that's hilarious.
Yeah, people were theorizing that because it was a Pirelli collab, that it had to do something with the tires or something. But I'm like,
Yeah.
it's too abstract.
I was thinking, like, maybe it was gears, like gear shifts or something. But, like, I don't know. I didn't even realize it had something to do with tires until
so
after.
weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's okay. It's something.
Another little minor thing that happened this weekend before the F1 cars even touched the track. The safety car was doing some testing and it also crashed into the barriers, which is a little embarrassing for the safety car of all cars.
Yeah. a little
Yeah.
bit embarrassing, but I think it was the first time in, like I thought I read, like, 25 years that
Yeah,
happened.
something like 25, 23 years.
Yeah.
So
So, like
pretty good track record. Okay.
yeah, and he tried to save the car too. I read that the driver tried to save the car by steering it instead of smashing straight into the barrier. So, I don't know. That was a little weird to read as a headline Thursday.
Yeah. Well, FP1, we had Kimmy test the Mercedes out, and he was doing a good start until he also ended up in the same corner as the safety car.
Yeah, and he's also I'm so glad that they finally confirmed him. It's gonna be very fun to see. Hopefully he doesn't end up like Logan Sargent. He's too inexperienced. Too bad.
Yeah, Kimmy to Mercedes. I think that was like the big headline this weekend.
He needs to refine his
Yep.
skills because he does have talent, but he needs to refine his
Yeah,
skills.
definitely.
Yeah.
And
If you've seen him race, there's definitely talent. So I have some expectations. I think he'll be able to do pretty good next season, but I hope the best for him, obviously.
right, I think Mercedes doing this on like the Italian Grand Prix weekend was so like just perfect for Kimmy
Yeah, they
in
definitely
the
did it
sense
on
like
purpose.
Kimmy is Italian, so like that like must have meant a lot to him.
Yeah.
Like on his home race weekend, especially when he was set to drive in FP1. So yeah,
They
with
definitely
Kimmy
did.
going to Mercedes, there's only 2 seats left on the 2025 grid. There is one for
Sauber.
Visa Cash App RB
Uh-huh.
and one for Sauber. So who do we think is getting it?
Bottas
For
is very much linked to renewing his Sauber seat.
yeah, I heard about
Although
that.
Sophia, I know, would love to have Kevin reunited with
Last
Nico again,
spins.
but unfortunately, I don't. It doesn't look like it. Although we both would like it to happen.
I mean, if Valtteri does go, I mean, hopefully the car will be good enough, rather than the Kickstarter car right now, because it's absolutely horrendous.
Yeah, the car
And
right
I
now
think
is
for the
good.
yeah, I know it's pretty bad, but I think for the Red Bull seat, I feel like it's either maybe Daniel or Liam Lawson.
Yep.
I feel like at the moment, I feel like they're gonna put Liam Lawson in just because I feel like Danny Rick's not been performing as good as he could.
I think he looks like he's trying, but it's not enough.
Yeah, like he's trying, but like
Yeah,
I
he's
think
been getting
being the third driver again.
Because he did do better than
yeah
Yuki, but
because
it's still
I
not
mean
enough.
I know because he's had the quote unquote like worst car, not the upgraded car for like a lot of the races recently. But he's not doing that worse stuff. I mean, this weekend he was pretty unlucky with the 10-second penalty from his pit crew. But
Yeah,
so he's been
I
pretty unlucky.
remember
But he didn't
that.
do too bad with that.
Talking about Yuki,
Um,
he had a very early
yeah,
retirement
talking
in
about
lap
his
7. Thanks to Kevin. No, right? Yeah. No, Nico. Sorry, Nico's the one who accidentally crashed into her.
Well, Kevin race banned for next
But
race.
Kevin did have a little altercation with Pierre, and now is finally reached those 12 points, and he's going to be banned for Baku, which we all saw it coming. But
Yeah,
and
eventually.
and
it's
Gasly
kind of a
himself
you
is
mess around, you find out situation there.
and Gasly himself is advocating. He's trying to vouch for him, saying for the FIA to revoke that because he doesn't think that it really was his fault. It was just like the wrong place at the right time. The wrong
Well,
time.
yeah. Well, even
Definitely.
if it doesn't, I mean, at least they'll have a clean slate. At least if they don't revoke it, because he has a pretty amount of the penalty points, so it's going to happen eventually. I'm pretty sure because there's still 8 more races.
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
I think this is probably
Um,
the reason why they're not doing it. It's just because it's the chance of him not getting anything for the next 8 races. It's basically just delaying it.
right. Also speaking of Kevin Magnussen, despite I think he had a penalty this race. Maybe
Yeah,
I'm
and
confusing him with Nico.
no, he did.
But I think he still landed up in the points, which is pretty impressive,
Yeah, by
if I say
0.1
so.
seconds. He was 0.1 seconds ahead of Alonso after the
So
penalty.
getting points. Kevin in the Haas, Alex Albon in the Williams. Wasn't expecting that this weekend, but a nice surprise. Another surprise, maybe Sophia wants to weigh in on this one. The Red Bulls in P6, P8.
Yikes.
Well, I don't know. You know how it is. Like, it's just getting worse and worse. And I think that's just how our car will be for the rest of the season at this rate.
Yeah, I mean, Max has said that the Red Bull is a monster several times throughout this weekend.
Yeah.
So hopefully they improve that Red Bull because I actually do want to see like a fight go on for the constructors and the drivers
Well, the constructors
championships.
at this rate, it pretty much is in McLaren's hands. But the drivers,
Yeah.
that is mostly also up to McLaren because they are not being smart with calling both Oscar and Lando a number one driver. Because
Right.
at this
Yeah.
point, one is in second place and the other is in fourth, and one is a lot closer to Max than they are to the other person. So
Okay, but then you guys always complain, oh, well, they don't treat them equal. They should treat them equal. So how do you
Okay.
want it?
No,
You cannot
I
have
don't
it
think I
both
complained
ways.
about
You
that.
can't have
I
it
don't.
both ways, but I
No,
think
at
Yes,
least
we
when
do
at
that.
least Sebastian and Harain do that. Oh, they don't treat them the same. So
But
yeah,
I feel
I
like
can admit we do
fair.
that sometimes.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I know what you're saying though, but I feel like fair depending on like their
The
circumstances. You know what I'm
situation.
saying?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like
Like
I
fair
think it
can't just
matters
isn't
on the
always.
situation for sure.
Yeah.
But I
Like if
mean,
it like it was just the beginning of the season where they're like both starting at 0, treat them fairly, like give them equal shots. But if it's at a point like it is right now,
where
where
one
one
is
of them is
clearly
able
winning.
to challenge the other, like help the
Exactly.
person who can
Yeah.
get the
What are they
champion.
Yeah.
doing? I don't understand. There is
Because I
no
get that they want
equal
Oscar to
driver.
win, but I don't know if
They
now
both
is
can't win. Exactly. I know what you're saying. They both can't win the championship, and one of them is realistically closer to winning than the other. So I don't know what we're doing here. By the time they
Yeah.
realize it, it's gonna be too late, I feel.
Yep. And
Right,
people have been
exactly.
talking about this, and we've also been discussing this since like the
Yeah.
beginning of the summer, not the summer break, the summer itself, because
Mhm.
we've been seeing this coming. They need to figure
Yeah,
it
we've
out
been calling it, and
because
it's the same
Yeah.
thing.
if they play their cards right, they can get both championships this year.
Yeah.
And like what's his name? The guy we saw complaining about this. I don't know.
Will Buxton?
Yeah, Will Buxton. That it's not every year they have this opportunity, so they better not screw it up.
Exactly.
They better
Yeah,
not
which I think
pull a
they
Ferrari
I
2022
hope
Because
they
you
because
never
do.
know, one of the other teams maybe will find its way
Sophia's
again.
praying for our downfall.
Hey, you
But
were praying on
like I'm not
Red
saying
Bull's
it's true.
downfall.
I am
Is that
praying.
not the
I'm
same?
Yeah, we
praying.
whoa.
are. It's only fair.
It's okay. All is fair
Yeah.
in love and
Yeah, it's
war,
all
guys.
good. For real.
But no, honestly, I'm kind of hoping the Red Bull pulls through just for that fight. But you know, if it comes down to a McLaren versus Red Bull, I think it's obvious whose side I'm taking, at least. No offense. Love you, Sophia. Love Red
We
Bull.
love you
But,
too.
like, you know, gotta rep the McLaren. I spent like $80 on a McLaren hoodie. There's no way I wouldn't support McLaren in the title fight.
See, that's on you.
I
That's
mean,
on you. You didn't get the deals like I did.
I got like
I
two
didn't. No,
McLaren
they didn't give
shirts,
me the
McLaren hat,
coupons.
McLaren lanyard. I gotta support that
He's got
team.
the McLaren parking spot too.
I'm
Like,
gonna get a McLaren parking spot too.
he's all in for McLaren. I can at least admit that I am diehard Ferrari, except for the fact that their merch is way too expensive. So it's the
You're
only
not.
reason I'm
They're like
not.
only true tifosis can afford.
Yeah, I can pay for it, right? I'm a little broke for that, guys. I've got the red phone case though. Counts for something.
That's true.
But so this weekend during qualifying, Lando got pole. Be interesting to, I guess, see.
I mean,
But
he got off the start well, but
he
he
had to
still
start
lost
for
it.
the
He
first
still
bit,
lost it
and
because
then he lost it.
he still lost
Nothing
it
Hey, it's
because
new.
progress.
Nothing
it's
new.
better.
Progress.
It's better. Yeah.
Better than what it has been, though. We must admit that.
Exactly.
Eventually, he'll hold on to it fully, but it's
Question
basically
is when.
question is when and where. But that kind of just proved the whole, I guess we want to call it the Monza curse, right? Where if you get pole, you are not gonna win the race.
Yeah, now it's been 5 years
It's
in a
been
row.
happening for 5 years now. So, speaking of 5 years in Monza, Charles Leclerc won.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that? Like,
Yes, we can. Ferrari.
he won in Monaco, he wins in Monza. Like,
Yeah.
iconic.
Yeah.
Truly a throwback. It felt so weird to see
He
that
managed.
live.
Yeah.
He managed to get that one stop.
Right.
Just like
Honestly,
So,
just like Russell, except this time he wasn't. It was actually a correct win.
he wasn't disqualified.
Right.
Yeah. I was not expecting that whatsoever, but I'm happy for that. Happy for him.
No, y'all were texting me like Charles is in the lead. I'm like, what happened while I was gone? And then I opened
Everything.
Instagram to see winner with Charles's face. I was like, are you kidding? Like the one race I didn't watch, he win.
Yeah. Well, I think it's time to talk predictions for Baku.
Okay, who wants to kick us off here?
I'll go first. We were talking about this earlier because we wanted to have set the tone beforehand. So I think my prediction is going to be Lando, Charles, Oscar, and I'm not sure about P1 and P2. They might switch, but I have to choose one, so I'm going in that direction. But the reason I'm not very sure is because Monza was a track full of high speed and low speed corners. Well, high speed straights and low speed corners. And so is Baku. They have two long straights and a bunch of 90 degrees and tiny chicanes like the one that Charles himself crashed at. And the Ferraris are notoriously good when it comes to low speed corners. So we might see another fight very similar to this one if Red Bull isn't in the
You
mix.
I'd say,
So
do you think this track is similar to Monaco at all? Like where like Charles won,
the
obviously.
the left
So
side, the left side is like the older city side is because there's a lot of really tight weaving corners. The right side is just nothing. It's just a big rectangle. Um, so I don't know. That's my explanation for my podium. But I'm not very sure in that P1 P2. They might switch.
okay. Hannah, predictions?
Okay. So I've been a little lost lately. My predictions have not been close. Everything is just, yeah, I don't know.
Okay,
But I
we've all
have
been waiting.
one. Yeah, it's just with like permitting good strategies, good smarts from McLaren, hopefully. I'm hoping and predicting for a Papaya win, but also a Ferrari in the podium though. So I think obviously interchangeable, but I think I'm gonna go. Maybe they'll get a hint with all their like prioritizing driver stuff. I think Lando P1, Charles P2, Oscar P3.
Okay, so same as Sebastian with the podium.
Yep. Yeah.
I will say I have the same exact predictions as Hannah and Sebastian. I didn't change it at all. I think with the way Ferrari's been performing recently, especially with the win back in Monza, it makes sense for Ferrari to end up being on the podium. Which one? I don't know. Charles has been doing better, so I put him P2 for that reason. McLaren, hopefully they catch a hint, and Lando is
Prioritize Lando.
aided in getting that win.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens, but if not, I think the papayas are definitely interchangeable there on the podium.
Mhm.
But I'm keeping it as Lando P1, Oscar P3 in the sense that McLaren will get their stuff together.
Hopefully. All right. What are we thinking, Sophia?
I'm gonna say Oscar P1. I'm gonna put. Okay. I'm definitely gonna put Lando in third place. 'Cause I don't like
Okay,
him.
so
I don't like
papaya
him.
sandwich somewhere.
Papaya
Who's
sandwich.
getting sandwiched? Who's getting sandwiched?
Loki. I'm gonna say George. I
Okay,
got my
Okay, I
faith
can
in
see
papayas.
him.
that. Yeah.
I
I
got
see.
my faith in him.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I wanted to put Lewis on the podium, but I was like, I don't know. Like Mercedes did okay this weekend, but I don't know. I'm scared.
That
A
is
little bit
interesting.
unfortunate
Putting
from them,
Mercedes
but
up there. We'll
Yeah,
see.
we'll definitely see, but
yeah.
it's basically us against Sophia here on the podium.
But I
It's
agree
a
with
good
hers too.
battle.
I'm just gonna
Yeah, I
go
think Sophia's podium is
whatever
pretty
here.
solid.
Yeah. I think they'll be,
Hey,
if not
I
one, two.
won
Yeah,
closest
Sophia
podium last
technically
time.
won last week in our books. No one has officially gotten all 3 in a row, so maybe that will change this weekend.
Yep.
Maybe, or
I
maybe
don't know.
within the next
With
the
the
other
season
7
looking,
races, but the
yeah,
season's been pretty
hopefully.
wonky recently. I would be
I
shocked
know.
if a Red Bull got on the podium with the way it's been going right now.
Yeah.
I will hope for the Red Bull podium for Sophia's sake.
Thank you.
But will it happen? I don't know.
Hey,
It'd be
you know
definitely
what?
be
At
Max.
least the Tifosis are not on top, okay? That's all that matters.
That's
That's crazy.
that's a little fair. I will say that's fair. We had our celebrations this week. I guess it's time to pass the baton.
Yeah, until you're at McLaren's level
Um,
where they're beating Red Bull like almost every race.
Would it be
So, yeah.
funny if I said I want to change my prediction and put Logan Sargent P1? He flies in on a helicopter. Crosses the finish
Play the
line.
American anthem, Eagles greeting.
Yeah, and then he gets signed to Red Bull.
America.
Like, could we see it, guys? The vision is there. Like, I can't.
Definitely. I see it. I see it.
Yeah. Totally agree.
Like, if I was funny, that would be my podium.
All right.
That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think that's everything. So
I think so.
we will see y'all later. Next episode. Bye.
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 Yabba dabba doo.
Oh my god.
Ain't
Cut that
no
out.
way. Oh my
that
goodness.
I'm not
I
cutting
said
that out.
that because.